Get free tech advice for your business from O2 Gurus. Search O2 Business for more.
Hi guys, you may or may not have heard, but Mobile World Congress is now under a month away. Samsung, HTC, Sony, Huawei, Microsoft, you name it, all the big names are going to be there, with new phones, tablets and smartwatches. Well, everyone apart from Apple. Every year these companies make the trek to Barcelona, and for what? To have their devices lost amongst the other announcements? Well, this year each of the manufacturers seem to be hoping to stand out once again with their flagship models for 2015. Samsung will be vying to regain its lead in the smartphone market from Apple, and HTC and Sony will once again be attempting to take on the might of Samsung. But what do we know, or think we know, about MWC's announcements so far? Well, this year Samsung, HTC and Sony are all supposedly going to have the biggest announcements of the show. Samsung's success may come down to the rumoured Galaxy S6, and if the rumours are true, then it will be a big departure from what the company has done previously. The Samsung Galaxy S5 is quite plasticky, especially when compared to the awesome feeling iPhone 6, HTC One M8 and Sony Xperia Z4. That's why we're really excited to see Samsung finally release a device that uses metal. Okay, we'll give the company some credit. The Galaxy Note 4, Alpha and A series do use metal, but at the end of the day, they made the company's flagship look cheaper, despite the high price point. Now the Galaxy S6 could use an all-metal case, like the HTC One M8, which feels like it's just made to sit on your hands for long periods, or it could even go Sony's route and use a glass front and back panel, while having a metal frame. Samsung being Samsung though, you can expect the company to still focus heavily on what's inside the phone. That means expect things like 4GB of RAM, an improved fingerprint sensor, and an upgraded camera. 20 megapixels is currently what's rumoured. There may even be a Snapdragon 810, which is supposedly the fastest chip around right now. Rumours, however, suggest that Qualcomm's chipset overheats, so there's every chance we'll get the octa-core Exynos 7420 instead. There'll definitely be a Quad HD AMOLED screen, though with LG G3 levels of pixel density. Of course, refreshing its flagship is one way to stand out, but with Sony and HTC also likely to do the same, Samsung is going to have to do something a little more fresh. The company will probably keep its most unique stuff for variants of the S6 though. S6 Edge will apparently have a screen that wraps around both edges, not sure why, but it will probably look cool like the Note Edge. While the S6 Active will be able to go for a splash in the swimming pool and could even be a little bit more bash-proof. Sony is also hoping to stand out at MWC, but the company may do it for all the wrong reasons. The Xperia Z4 is quickly becoming this year's will they won't they, with rumours claiming that Sony isn't planning to launch the Z4 at the show, while others say they will. Given the number of leaks, it's certainly surprising if Sony skips its flagship for MWC, but then again, there's a new Bond out in the summer, and we all know Sony's obsession with putting all of its products in its movies. It's been 6 months since Sony last announced an Xperia device, and if you bought the Xperia Z3, you're probably pretty peeved with rumours around the Z4. Although, if you bought the Z3, you probably realise that Sony updates its flagships twice a year anyway. The Z4 may not even be a huge upgrade anyway, with the design set to be tweaked to slightly more rounded corners and smaller top and bottom bezels. The inside though, that'll be where the big changes are. Better camera, better processor, more RAM. That's apparently Sony's goal for the Xperia Z4, if it ends up coming. There's no Quad HD display though, but that could be good news for those who like their batteries lasting longer than a day of use. What else from the ailing but awesome Japanese tech giant? Possibly the Xperia Z3 Ultra, and some tipsters has even suggested a Z3 2.0. An incrementally better variant of the Z3 ahead of the true successor later this year. What's more, with a year having passed since the Z2 tablet, we would definitely hope to see a 10-inch successor en route very soon. It's much the same with HTC as well, with the One M9 getting a slightly tweaked design, a faster processor and more RAM. HTC is finally going to ditch the 4-megapixel rear camera as well, probably much to the excitement of every HTC hater everywhere. Instead, that ultra-pixel camera is supposedly being switched to the front, and on the back is a new 20-megapixel camera, making perfect sense for low-light selfies. Leaks of the HTC One M9 have been coming left, right and centre recently, but apparently the company is purposely using decoys so it can surprise you at its event on March 1st. For that reason, we're going to stop believing rumours until we see something legit from HTC itself, but enjoy all these renders nonetheless. They're certainly whetting our appetites. Those are going to be the biggest launches of the show, but there'll be tons more. Motorola will supposedly update the Moto E with a slightly larger screen and hopefully autofocus on the camera, and Huawei has a tablet or two as well as 3 wearables to show off. Microsoft may also have a wearable as it takes on the Apple Watch, and Acer will finally make another Windows phone. Excited? We are, and we'll be there, so make sure you keep an eye on BTech throughout 2015 for the truth behind these rumours and hands-ons with all the devices at MWC.